Amazing. Absolutely incredible. Jay, Evan, and Justin of the Atlas, welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks, Christian.
Of course. Absolutely great. I mean, you guys have been around for a little while, and you can tell, anyone listening, I think, can clearly tell that there is just a core essence that is the band, but it's hard to say that it's a shared group chemistry of a long period of time. I know that you were telling me, Jay, that Evan was in the band at one point and this, that, and the other. So I want to start tonight by all that to say, giving the origin story of the Atlas. So Jay, you are the founding member as far as I know. So I'd like you to start us off tonight and leave no stone unturned, please.
Over a decade ago, I started making songs when I was like laid off from my job on a crappy acoustic guitar, kind of had at home, and making home recordings, and then eventually I kind of put a lineup together and started playing shows. Didn't really last long, so I moved down to Ulster County, and I recorded the first record on an old iPhone 4 or something that my mom gave me, some old refurbished phone, and that started like getting me lineups and shows, and then I don't know.
Is that record available anywhere?
Yeah, it's on Spotify and everything. It's the self-titled 2015 record.
Wow.
With Breathe as the first song, which is the second song we played tonight. And then kind of like, play shows for a while, put out some records, and then eventually, Evan has had 10 years in the band. We've stayed in touch about all that, and throughout his move to Utah and such, and Justin has been producing the band longer than anybody's been involved in it, which I think is, I want to say 2017 or 18. Yeah. So he produced the last 3 albums, recorded at his studio, New York Drum Studio. And now the producers in the band, and my buddy's back and feeling good.
That's amazing. So where did the inspiration for Of the Atlas come from?
I kept being in these like kind of short-lived bands where people just they were really talented, but they didn't want to do it for more than just fun. And I didn't necessarily think there was a lucrative career involved necessarily, but I just wanted to do it on more involved level. Like I just want to do this all the time. It makes me happy. And yeah, I don't know. It's just something you do because you love it.
So you had a hard time in your 20s, and when did you start playing?
I started playing when I was like 12, but
oh wow, okay.
And I had a high school band, and we did some things like CBGBs and the Chants and a few other places, but once you get out of high school and real life happens, it's just harder to do this. So, I just figured out an alternate way. If I could just keep doing the project, no matter who's busy. A lot of people have, real life stuff going on as well as I do, but, it's an easier way to keep a band going,
For sure. And had you been writing that whole period in between high school and starting Of the Atlas in your early 30s?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. But you just never had a concrete group of guys to share that music with?
Yeah, it was. I think I started this band when I was 29, and so it was like you're already in adult world. You're already like kind of going through a bunch of jobs that you don't like everybody else, and you just figured, well, might as well do what you love to do as opposed to just, be another spoke on the wheel kind of thing,
Yeah, totally. So I want to jump to Evan next, who was in the band at one point, took some time away, and has now rejoined the band. What's been your journey with Of the Atlas?
Yeah, that kind of sums it up. I've stumbled upon him through like some mutual people we knew in the music scene in Kingston. And it was kind of a natural fit. We played together for about a year, and I recorded a couple songs on one of the EPs or albums.
Yep. The Mountain EP. Yeah, Evan was the bassist.
Yeah, I was on the original Tire Fire, I believe. And then, I graduated from college, got a job out in Utah, gave some notice and moved away, and we kept in touch. I moved back. He was still kind of kicking around with a few other, he had some good lineups through the years. So I was kind of doing my own thing. Kind of took a break from music for my career, and I had a lot of personal stuff going on. And then just recently rejoined like mid last year, maybe. I don't even think I'm back a year.
You've been back since September?
Yeah, something like that.
Amazing. And Justin, I've heard ad nauseum that you've been the producer and the records sound great. How does the producer become the drummer?
Just hanging around long enough.
Okay.
I mean, that's no. But I've known Jay for a really, really long period of time. And especially like when I was just starting to understand how to record, Jay was nice enough to let me record an album with him. And that just kind of started building a relationship between the two of us. And it just has kept on going and going, throughout the past, several years now.
And have you drummed on all of the Atlas released material?
So not every song. There are some songs. So the first album that I worked with Jay on, there was one song that I played some drums on at the end. And then the second album, there was a few more songs. And I was trading off with his then drummer at the time. And then the current album is the same sort of thing. So, I mean, that's like the one thing about having the convenience of like a studio in your home where it's like, hey, this song needs some drums. I can just walk right downstairs and do it.
So as the producer and now the drummer, how do you kind of marry those two roles? What informs your drumming that you used to do on the producing side, or vice versa? What comes to mind? Because you are wearing two pretty big roles for the band.
I mean, like in any band I've ever been in, when I approach drums, I'm thinking about the song as a whole. And the drums are just merely one piece of it. And that's one of the things that I really love about recording is that now it's like you can see the whole picture. And it's like, oh, I hear this synth coming in at the end and this big climatic, outro. And then it becomes, as a drummer, well, how can the drums help and achieve this kind of big climatic outro that I'm hearing in my head? Or on this past album, Jay had this acoustic song that was really great. And then I started just hearing, well, what if we added drums to it? And next thing you know, like another piece to it and another piece to it. And then that became Time and Space, where it became this full band song that really started out as just an acoustic song. And just having the ability to kind of do that in your own home is just so powerful now because, you can go and experiment and have fun with it and just see where the song's going to take you.
It's no rush.
Yeah. Yeah. But you want to get stuff done. You definitely do.
Yeah.
Totally. Now, last question regarding the sound and the origin story before I kick it over to another topic. But I'm curious, Jay, was the intention always to be a three-piece? You guys put out a lot of sound for just three people, but talk to me about the arrangement that we're seeing and hearing tonight.
This was initially made to be a four-piece. I've had synth players and I've had other guitar players, and it's easier to manage with three people. I think the having a delay pedal probably helps with filling in some sound that I didn't do before because I had another guitarist and it was just reverb. I don't know, just like we figured we could just put, we can do it as a three-piece and figure it out. But that doesn't mean it won't be other things at points. It has a way of, this band has a way of like, coming in and out of different, I don't know what the word is, like different iterations, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I could see us playing with a synth player or another guitar player again, I could see, or not, like just whatever happens really. That's the kind of the fun of this,
Nice. Totally. Now I have a few questions coming up about what are the band's influences, some folks or musicians that may have inspired them. But before we do so, we just want to take a moment to thank all of you for being here and welcome to our band show. This is episode 29. Again, we're live with Of the Atlas, and we just appreciate your patronage this evening. So if you like what you're watching right now, and if you like the music you're hearing, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It would greatly help our channel and the band. Now, with that said, what are some of your guys' influences? It could be a record or a specific artist. I'm just curious to see kind of what has inspired some of the sound we're hearing tonight. Jay, let's start with you.
I started out with a lot of classic rock, and then it was kind of like when I was a little kid, it was like 90s alternative indie kind of stuff.
Like who?
Dinosaur Jr. and like Sonic Youth and Pavement and stuff like that. And of course,
I feel like
Nirvana.
I hear some pacing. I'm sorry. I feel like I hear some pacing in your guitar playing that may come from some hours listening to Dinosaur Jr.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Billy Corgan, and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
You know what's funny about Billy Corgan? Until I saw them live, I did not realize he was such an accomplished lead guitar player.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah.
If you watch like any bootlegs on YouTube of them from like 92 to 96, he's just shredding.
That's what he does.
Hell yeah. But everybody went through their post-hardcore phase too, and
Yeah, sorry, Mom.
yeah, exactly. My mom hated Earth Crisis because he screamed so hard, and she didn't realize he was anti-drugs. He sounded like a demon.
That's a classic band in
Hell
that
yeah.
genre.
Yeah,
For sure.
I was that straight edge kid in high school until stuff. Anyway, so but like I think somewhere in my mid-20s, I discovered my Morning Jacket and the fact they were all over the place. And I know we don't sound like them, but just the idea that every song is a different style, and it made me want to try different stuff. Like I never did synth loops or program drums on a recording before, things like that, or then going from that to like a folk song, but yeah, it was like I heard my Morning Jacket Z.
Oh, great record.
Yeah, and oddly, their engineer on that record is one of the sound guys at Avalon Lounge in Catskill, Matthew Cullen, which is pretty crazy.
One of your regular haunts, right?
Yeah, and it was just I didn't know that until 6 months after I met him or something, after he did sound for us and stuff at the venue. But I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything new. I really like anything that Walter Schreifels does. Quicksand, Rival Schools, stuff like that. He was an early hardcore guy and straight edge, Gorilla Biscuits and stuff. But
Yeah. Harkening back to the CBGB's touch point from earlier.
yeah, the place was awesome to play as a little kid.
Unreal, you got to do that. That's truly a bucket list venue.
So I heard it was closing, and I knew it was coming up, so I tried to get a show there quick, and they were like, the only thing open is the acoustic gallery next door, so I took it, but then I ran to the main stage on the other side, and I pulled a piece of the stage off, like a little piece, just to have it. I think it's in my parents' attic somewhere, like this many years later. But yeah, I don't know. I love CBGBs. That's where everybody went through, and
Amazing.
yeah.
Justin, let's talk about your influences.
So I am a child of the 90s, so I just grew up loving like grunge, like all of that Seattle scene, and a couple bands that were outside of it. But yeah, like my first like band that I just loved was Nirvana. And I think that growing up listening to Dave Grohl, especially the Dave Grohl records like In Utero, Nevermind, obviously, just kind of shaped my drumming from an early age because that's just what I grew up on. But also bands like Soundgarden, like Matt Cameron, like just amazing drummers were just around at that time. And I remember when I started playing drums, there was one particular Stone Temple Pilots album, Purple. And at the end of the song, there's this one song that has this break in it and this like big drum fill in it. And I just remembered that was like a goal I'd set for myself where it's like, when I can play that drum fill, I'll know I'm a good drummer. But it's just like that sound has just been like such a part of like my musical journey. And I still go back and just listen to all those CDs. Well, CDs, yeah, where are those things? But like listening to all those songs like on streaming. Yeah, and I just love it.
Yeah, big sound, big drums, and that's definitely what I'm hearing tonight as well.
Thank you.
And it's fantastic. Evan, what about you?
For me, Red Hot Chili Peppers, like early to mid-career stuff has probably been the most influential. Like if not for Flea, I don't think I would be a bass player, at least not still doing it. Blood Sugar Sex Magic, my favorite album of all time. I love funk stuff like old Funkadelic. Ben Folds is one of my favorite artists, Ben Folds 5. Alex G is one of my favorite current artists. Really eclectic, kind of all over the place. Bluegrass stuff, Eugene Tyler Band, Deep Chatham are some of my favorites. Cake, it's kind of runs the gamut, but in terms of like just influential, it's Flea like almost 100%.
Amazing. Well, let's hear how you guys put all those influences together. Let's jump back into another set of music. So let's take it away with the first song of the next set, Fuel for the Time Machine by Of the Atlas, live on our band show. Take it away, guys.